Hey everyone, I'm Morgan Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking something different to my kind of journey from getting to TCC to TCU and kind of some tips and tricks and kind of the whole process of transferring. So I have been talking about this on my Instagram story for the past couple days, and I have gotten a lot of questions, a lot of people asking for advice because it is something that you don't really know unless you've done it or if someone has like walked you through every step. And I have a little bit of advice that I'd love to share because I know it is helpful when you have someone to kind of give you pointers. Some questions I won't be able to answer just simply because I don't know, but I'm going to try my best. I graduated high school a year and a half early and went to college a year and a half earlier than expected. So I attended TCC and took 12 credit hours at the same time when I was doing aesthetic school. So aesthetic school and full-time college at the same time. I did 12 credit hours, which is a full-time student at TCC, and then did a 750-hour esthetician program. When I was at TCC, I took one class in person, the other 3 were online, and then due to COVID-19, everything got moved to online as it all played out. Basically, I'm going to go through everything along with a few questions. To start it off, there are so many benefits of going to community college. First, I wrote a paper on it. I'm going to put it right here. It's very short and sweet. You can just pause this video and read it. If not, you can read it at the end. But couple benefits, you're gonna save so much money. So much money. I break it down in this article that if you take a class at a big university, you're paying thousands of dollars for one class, or you go to a community college and you're paying hundreds for the same exact class. If you can, why pay thousands of dollars when you can pay hundreds for the same thing? Junior college caps at 2 years. You can work towards your basics, that way you can transfer to a big university and actually get your degree there, or just knock out certain classes at a JUCO. The true benefit in the saving money is, say you graduate high school and you go straight into college. You can either love it, stick with it, graduate in 4 years, maybe it takes you a little bit longer, maybe you go through grad school, all that good stuff. Or you get to college, you're there for a semester, you decide college is not for me, or you're not a fan of that college, or if it just wasn't the right fit. And then you've already locked in a lot of money at a university, but you didn't even know if college was really right for you. If you know me personally and know me in person, you know that I was so not wanting to go to college for the longest time, and then I decided I wanted to go. So junior college is the best place to start out if you're on the fence. Go to junior college, save money on your classes, but also save money and not waste any money, because what if you pay for your tuition and then you end up dropping, and then all that money kind of went down the drain. Also, you're going to save a lot of stress because you have a higher acceptance rate when you transfer into a university rather than just applying and hoping to hear acceptance right out of high school. A lot of schools, a majority of their student body are transfer students. I know TCU's has a lot of transfer students. I don't know the exact number. I'm going to pull it up. I'll put it here because it's a pretty big number. So save a lot of stress, headaches, you don't have to go through that waiting process. Once you apply to a big university, transferring in, it's, you'll have a better grip in your mind. You'll have a better feel for if you'll have a higher chance or not. Coming out of high school, say your GPA is not that great. Obviously big universities now, their acceptance is kind of competitive based on GPA, and say didn't do so hot and you want to make up for that, go to junior college, work towards one semester, 12 hours, 12 credit hours, go for the full 2 years, do 24 hours, get that GPA up, and go from there. That's the way to go too. For college, if your university is really big, you know, your class size is going to be huge. One thing that I love about TCU is their small class size, which is a huge blessing. But also at junior college, you're going to have a smaller class size anyways. So more one-on-one personal connection. Your professors know who you are. They're really willing to help you and stuff. I'm going to pull up some questions. So like I said, I did one class in person. My first class was at 8 a.m. in the morning. I would wake up, drive straight to TCC. It was raining most of the time. Take my 8 a.m. class. The class was scheduled from 8 to 9:20. Well, aesthetic school, you didn't have to, but in order to complete the program, you have to clock hours. It's all based off attendance. You could clock in at 9 or you could clock in at 8:50, get 10 extra minutes. So I went to TCC at 8 o'clock. Then the Lord came through, and this was a huge blessing. My teacher would let us out at 8:20 or 8:30. Say there was 1 or 2 random days she wanted to go through like a longer lesson, which we really didn't even have lessons, maybe 8:45, 8:50. The class was English 1 and absolutely loved it. It's an English class, you're gonna write a lot, but the Lord came through with that. I was in and out, and 9 out of 10 times I made it to aesthetic school by 8:50. So that was awesome. My other classes online, I will put them here, the exact ones, but I had history class, a social problems class, and a dance appreciation class. Yes, dance appreciation. History, I want to say, I think I did 21st century world problems. So it was present day things, or things that only happened, you know, a couple years back, or something that I've at least heard of, or my parents have experienced, or something like that. I like this. We're just hanging out on the couch. So 21st century world problems, I believe, and I learned a lot. A lot of reading, a ton of reading. I'm not really a big reader. I love to write. Can write pretty fast too, but that was a little tough, but let me tell you, I learned so much. And then I had a social problems class, which was really cool. We talk about so many different things, so many social problems. It also talks a little bit on how to deal with them, but really that class was a lot of reading as well. But really it broke down the social problems that we see in everyday life, but really like broke it down statistically, and you could really see what was actually going on, and you could actually see so many different viewpoints of that problem than you normally would, because you know you're reading a textbook, it's all there for you. Those 2 classes, I probably learned the most I've ever learned during high school, maybe even middle school, so I learned a lot. My 4th class was dance appreciation. All the other classes were booked, so I had to take this one because I needed 1 more. The goal to get into TCU was just to get 12. I'll explain that in a second. Dance appreciation, took that online. Great class, easy, learned so much. My grandma was a dance teacher for like ever, literally her entire life, traveled the world and taught from anything from country line dancing to ballet, you name it, she did it. So I kind of was familiar with it, but not as familiar as you would think. Obviously I cheered and I danced a little bit when I was little, but nothing crazy, nothing like Dance Moms or anything, nothing crazy. I just kind of went into it thinking, you know, I'll learn about dance and get the credit hour, but also, you know, learn something new, more interesting than, you know, another class. So great class, easy. You had about 3 or 4 assignments that just kept repeating itself. So I think one of them had to do a dance video, which is a little awkward, but easy, so that's a great grade right there. When you transfer somewhere, you can transfer with however many hours, but usually the minimum is 12, one semester. So when you are looking at what classes to take, be sure to see if they transfer over. The worst thing you could do is go to junior college, work so hard in those classes, get the best GPA ever, then go to a big university, hand them your transcript and all that, and they say, we actually don't accept that, and you don't get any credit for it. I told someone this on Instagram today. Be sure. Call call 2 or 3 people at your junior college. Call 2 or 3 people at your university. Make sure that all of y'all are on the same page. All of y'all. Make sure that they take it. Read them the number. Read it 2 or 3 times each phone call. Talk back and forth. Make sure, email it. That way they're not missing anything. I called TCU so many times where they all knew my name up there. I'm sure it was pretty annoying, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't mess anything up. Depending on how many credits you transfer in with, scholarships may vary too. When I applied to TCU, is the one school I applied for. I knew this is where I wanted and needed to be. So I only applied to TCU. The Lord opened that door. But when I applied, I transferred in with 12 credit hours, a 4.0 college GPA, and I did not take the SAT or ACT. COVID-19, all of that was canceled because of COVID. I scheduled it, canceled, and then finally it was just like, can't do it. So TCU and actually a lot of universities have said, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think they're saying that the class of 2021, their SAT or ACT score is not a requirement for admission. And so I had called and asked if that still applied for me because of COVID, that incoming class couldn't do it, and I couldn't do my SAT because of COVID, so the same thing. So they allowed me to come in with that. But based on your credit hours, you may get different scholarship money. I know TCU, if you're transferring in based off your GPA and your credit hours, if you get accepted, you automatically get that credited to your account. So I got the Transfer Dean's Scholarship. That's 12 credit hours. I had a 4.0. I don't know, the GPA wasn't a 4.0. I think it was 3 point something. But I got the Transfer Dean's Scholarship awarded with $92,000 for 4 years. The Lord came through. All glory to Him. Someone had asked me, hey, how did you apply for that scholarship? And that automatically transferred in. Someone said I had applied, but it didn't give me an option to send in a transcript. Do I still need to do that? And if I do, where do I do it? I believe at every junior college, you're going to get accepted. So they may not ask you for a transcript. I would 100% send it in. What you could do is you could call like the registrar's office. You call TCC's, like there's one, based off your campus, there's one phone number. You call it, sweet lady answers, hi, I'm needing to send in my transcripts. That way it is in the profile, or in my profile. I'm already accepted in the TCC. I'm so excited. I want you all to have my high school transcript. Very important if you took AP or dual credit, because all of that can go into college, and you want them to know any little ounce of credit, college credit, you want them to know about it. If you don't, I would still just have TCC have it. So definitely call the registrar's office. People said, what did you think about your time at TCC? Also, we talked about scholarships, okay. TCC, I loved it, like I said. 1 class in person, 3 online, but what I can tell you is that they're super big on community. Every month they have a huge sheet. It's literally the size of this. This is my hand. This is not it, this is TCU's thing. But it's this size, and it has 30 or 40 different school events that you can go to. My English teacher even said if you go to one of these and write a short paper on it, you get extra credit. Any extra credit you can do, 100% do it. That's what helped me secure the 4.0 GPA, because you never know when you're writing a paper and you think you did great but you actually bombed it. You never know when those 4 or 5 extra credit things come in handy or come in clutch. Things on this list, they have them posted everywhere. You get them emailed. TCC is so big on community. They're in your email. When you go to the bathroom, in the classroom, you won't miss it. It would be things like grab and go snacks. They would have you, I think it was scheduled for you to stop by in your car, and they would literally hand you water bottles and snacks, but it was raining, so we had to go inside. Free snacks, you walk in, all you have to do is grab the snacks, go. You can talk if you want. Came in, got the peanut butter crackers, bag of chips, water bottle, headed out, wrote the paper, extra credit. Awesome. They have so many little things that you can do for it. Not every class is going to give you extra credit for attending those, but those are the kind of fun things that TCC has. They had like pizza night, studying, so many different things, coffee in the mornings, hot tea. They had a bunch of things scheduled. Student council there was on top of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't make a few things because I was in aesthetic school from 8:50 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But anytime I had a lunch break, or if I really needed the extra credit, I'd leave just to get the extra credit or to get some free food. Talking about a core equivalency guide. TCU is phenomenal with transfer students. So I'm gonna get a little bit closer. For guides, I have about 20 of these laying around the house. They're all marked up with all my little notes on it. Most schools will have a transfer equivalency guide. So they'll say, hey, this will accept XYZ. This is just a core curriculum guide. So there's so many classes on here, but there's so many classes that TCU still accepts that aren't on this list. I think you can also find this online, but call TCU's transfer admissions. It tells you English composition, what classes you can take, mathematics. It tells you, say you're in business, this is what you'll need to get in the business school. It's highlighted. So under each subject, they have different options, but also it's highlighted specifically for your major. The other side, it has a little checkbox applying to TCU. It tells you you'll need your official transcripts, blah, blah, recommendation letters, high school transcript, FAFSA, all that stuff. They lay it out so perfectly here. I'm not kidding. Every time I talk to someone at TCU, I'm like, can I have 2 more of those? They're all over my house. Like I said, the scholarships are amazing. So check ahead of time. Talk to your university. Hey, how much if I had a 3-point whatever GPA and I only had 12 hours, what scholarship would I get? Oh, you'd get scholarship A. Well, what if I had 24 hours in that same GPA? Oh, well, you get scholarship B, and B may be more, so maybe you stay another. Okay, phone died. Sorry about that. My camera died. Not my phone. We're on my phone. Definitely look into that. This transfer guide, here it is. You can see it better. So handy. But someone said, what was the hardest part? I think the hardest part was pulling everything together for TCU. Just like anything for college, it is going to take a hot minute to get everything together. But I'm telling you, community college before a big university is 100% the best way to go. GPA is super important, and at a small college, you have more of a personal connection with the professors. They can help you more than they could if you're in a huge classroom. So definitely look into that. And I'm trying to think of any other tips. Just be in good communication with your JUCO and your university. Say you're not going to get here for another 2 or 3 years. It's okay. Talk to them all the time. One thing that I loved about TCC was that they have something called TCC Transfer Fair. They would bring in 20, 30 different universities, and basically it's kind of like a science fair. All the colleges have their own booth. They have little packets like this, core equivalency guides. You could shake someone's hand, talk to them, ask them 1,000 questions. They'll take your email, they'll send you information. It is like you walk up and you see the face of that school for transferring, and they know exactly who you are. Walked up there with my dad. Hey, I'm Morgan Nicole. I am so excited and really looking forward to working my way to TCU. I'm trying so hard here at TCC, and you're at TCC when you're doing this. I'm working so hard here, and I can't wait to start this process of applying for admission. You shake their hand, they know exactly who you are, their name and your face, your name and your face, so they kind of get to connect everything. Then you email them, you stay in contact with them. It's really cool because the lady that I met, I not only got to meet her in person a few times, but I also got to see her at a campus visit, and we also emailed back and forth a couple times. TCU's transfer admissions department is so beyond helpful, and literally they made the process 10 times easier than I'm sure it is anywhere else. They are amazing. If you have any more questions, you can always comment down below, or you can DM me on Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions. Some are still coming through, and I'm answering them as they come in. So that is that. I'm going to put my article up here, and any last tips and tricks. Don't know if I mentioned that TCC has guidance counselors, and they also have, I think they have dedicated transfer guidance counselors. They'll sit down with you, they'll look at your degree plan, you say, hey, this is kind of my end goal, want to study business or whatever it may be. What classes do I need to take? From there, you'll talk to the university. So TCC, I loved it. They have so many resources for you, and be sure to ask all the questions because that is what they're there for, and they're super big on community. And I was wearing a shirt the other day that said TCC Proud, and I was talking about it on my stories. It's like, remember where you came from, because without TCC, I wouldn't have the 4.0 GPA, and I wouldn't have had the $92,000 scholarship. So super grateful for it. Some people are like, I don't want to go to junior college. No hate to junior college. Listen, that is the smartest and the safest way to go. Financially, GPA wise, say you don't even know what you want to study yet. Go to junior college, you have 2 years to figure it out. And if you get it your first semester, hey, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to move, this is what I want to study there, then go to a university. But the worst thing that you could do coming out of high school is go immediately into college if you don't know what you want to do or what your goal is, because you can waste a lot of time and a lot of money for you and your parents. And instead, if you're on the fence, I 100% recommend junior college beforehand. Even if you're really sure where you want to go, I recommend junior college. Save money, work hard, and once you get to your big university and they look at your transcript, they're going to see, okay, she's done college before. She knows kind of, how to study. She knows what to do. She's thrived in the aspect, on her transcript, and I can see through, TCC that this is what we're looking for. So make sure you use all of your resources. Ask me questions. I'm here to help. Thank you guys so much for DMing me questions and just kind of celebrating with me, as I'm super grateful for the scholarship with TCU. The Lord has blessed me, and I'm so excited to be a Horned Frog. I was a trailblazer at TCC, but now I'm a Horned Frog. So excited, and I could not be more grateful. I'm beyond blessed, and I'm so excited for you guys to go on to junior college. Maybe you just stop after the 2 years, or maybe you keep on going towards a degree plan. So keep asking me questions. I will be sure to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Hope y'all get into the university of your dreams. I am going to pray for y'all after this, but keep pushing, keep working hard. This COVID thing is super crazy, but stay in it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you